Live from WPRI 12. This is Eyewitness News Live at 5. Coverage you can count on.
We begin tonight with a number of new developments in the Aaron Hernandez murder investigation. 2 days after the former Patriots tight end was arrested in the shooting death of an acquaintance, 2 more suspects are now in custody in connection with this crime. This afternoon, Carlos Ortiz faced a judge in Attleboro after being arrested in Connecticut as a fugitive from justice. And a third suspect, Ernest Wallace, is now in custody as well. He turned himself in Florida earlier today. Police are searching Hernandez's North Attleboro home while the former Pro Bowler sits in prison. Eyewitness News reporter Sean Daly is standing by in North Attleboro, but our in-depth coverage begins tonight at Attleboro District Court with Eyewitness News reporter Steve Nielsen.
Well, Susan, the big headline here right now, Carlos Ortiz remains in custody. He's now been charged inside of a Massachusetts courtroom, not a Connecticut courtroom. He has made it to Massachusetts now, and that charge is carrying a firearm without a license. That's it, just the one charge, carrying a firearm without a license. I can tell you this arraignment was a lot quicker than Aaron Hernandez's that we saw earlier this week. That lasted for at least 30 minutes, it felt like. The amount of questions that still remain after this arraignment are almost endless. Prosecutors won't say how this charge is connected to Hernandez. And court documents, it just says that Ortiz admitted to police to having a gun the morning of Lloyd's death. That's the only connection that it says here. Now, Ortiz's attorney simply said that the only connection to Hernandez that Ortiz has is that they both grew up in Bristol, Connecticut. We're not learning anything more than that. The defense attorney says he's planning on getting an investigator to get more information. The DA says that they won't release any more information until the investigation is complete. Now, Ortiz pled not guilty of that charge in court today. I want to listen right now to some sound that happened outside of court. First, we'll hear from the defense attorney, and then we'll hear from the district attorney, Sam Sutter.
At this point, I'm not expecting further charges. I think if they had further charges, they should bring them today. He struck me as being a gentle person who is confused as to how he's in this situation.
At the time that Odin Lloyd got into the car, approximately 2:30 on the morning of Monday, June 17th. We have those 3 individuals that were in the car at that time that Odin Lloyd got into the car, that we now have them in custody.
Now, Ortiz is being held at least until July 9th for a dangerousness hearing, but you just heard Sam Sutter say 3 people are in custody. Well, that's because Sam Sutter says that the 3 people that were in that car when Odin Lloyd was found dead that morning was Ortiz, Hernandez, and Ernest Wallace. Ernest Wallace, who police have been after for about the last 24 hours, was taken into custody in Florida. Authorities say he turned himself in. They were looking for him and a car with Rhode Island plates. Well, they found the car with Rhode Island plates, and then a few hours after that, that was when Wallace turned himself into authorities. He's wanted for accessory after the fact of murder. Sam Sutter really didn't mention much more about that, but clearly there's still a lot more to be gathered here as far as both of these people's connection to Aaron Hernandez and more detailed about just what happened the night of Lloyd's death. Reporting live at the Southeastern Massachusetts Mobile Newsroom, I'm Steve Nielsen, Eyewitness News.
And while the investigation into the shooting death of 27-year-old Odin Lloyd continues to unfold, police are also reportedly looking for any possible link between Aaron Hernandez and an unsolved murder in Boston last year. Our in-depth coverage continues now live from North Attleboro with Eyewitness News reporter Sean Daly.
Susan, at the end of the second of 2 long weeks here in North Attleboro, outside the home of Aaron Hernandez, there are still more troubling new developments in the police investigation of the former New England Patriot. Boston police at the North Attleboro home of Aaron Hernandez for several hours overnight and into the morning, searching for evidence that our affiliate in Boston, WBZ-TV, is reporting may link the former New England Patriot to an unsolved double murder in the south end of Boston last July 16th, nearly a year ago. The Boston police say 2 men were gunned down in the early morning by someone in an SUV with Rhode Island license plates. As that older investigation plays out, so does the more recent investigation into the death of 27-year-old Odin Lloyd of Dorchester in Boston. A jogger discovered his body near gravel piles in an industrial park in North Attleboro on June 17th. Prosecutors say he was shot there 5 times earlier that same day, around 3:30 a.m. The industrial park is less than a mile from Aaron Hernandez's $1 million home in North Attleboro. On Wednesday, the star athlete was charged with first-degree murder in the killing of Odin Lloyd, who was a friend who played semi-pro football for the Boston Bandits. Sources are telling WBZ-TV that Odin Lloyd may have had information about Aaron Hernandez's possible role in last summer's double murder. Aaron Hernandez is in big trouble. If he's convicted of first-degree murder in the death of Odin Lloyd, he would get life in prison with no parole. Live in North Attleboro with the Southeastern Massachusetts Mobile Newsroom, Sean Daly, Eyewitness News.